Support is a level where the buyers enter or the price moves up, and the resistance is the level where the sellers enter and the price moves down. This is the most common definition of support and resistance which you must have heard, and almost every other traders keep on telling the same thing. But what is the actual concept behind it, and why are support and resistance so important? Let us find out. Hello and welcome to Forex Monopoly. My name is Daksh and this is the Support and Resistance Foundation series. In this episode of the Support and Resistance Foundation series, I will tell you what support and resistance are as well as the concept behind them. And this video will serve as the foundation of the entire support and resistance series, allowing you to trade support and resistance more effectively and ridding you of any misinformation you may have received from the internet. So make sure you watch it all the way through. Now, before we begin, I wanted to let you know that I am starting a support and resistance trading series and will answer all of your questions about this topic. So make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any of the episodes of this series. Now, I would like you to imagine a hypothetical situation. Assume you are driving at high speed on a highway and are cruising on the road listening to your favorite music in your car. Now, while driving, you notice a small turn ahead, but you also notice a car approaching from the opposite direction, and if you take the turn, you may collide with the other vehicle. What would you do if you were in this situation? You would either let your car collide with the other car or do something else to save that car, causing your car to collide with the road divider. Now, God forbid that this happens to any one of you, because it happened to me, and believe me, it was not a good time in my life. At that point, I decided to save the other car from the damage, and I turned my car in the opposite direction, where the tires blew out and my car rolled 3 or 4 times. So, what can we take away from this experience? Yes, you guessed it correctly. We should not drive at such high speeds. However, if you have heard about such incidents or have witnessed them firsthand, you will develop the instinct to be cautious whenever you approach that particular area where you had an accident. Like if you go through the area, you will naturally slow down your car. And you do so because you know there is a turn ahead, or the road is bad, or the road is wet, and there can be many other reasons to it. You will immediately slow down and drive carefully to get past that section of road and then possibly increase the speed of the car. And I am sure something similar to that has happened to many of you, and if so, please let me know down in the comment section below. Now, I completely understand if you are wondering how does this relate to trading. Financial market traders are, after all, humans with basic human tendencies. So just as you would react or slow down in the place you had an accident, in the same manner, whenever a trader is trading and reading the charts, he becomes cautious when he notices that the price has either tanked or skyrocketed at a specific price level on the chart. It's because they don't know if the price will behave similarly to before. But what they do know is that the market participants are present at such levels and are ready to act. Now, let's look at the chart to see if we can get a better understanding of everything. Assume the price was moving upward from this point and you anticipated that it would continue to rise, so you entered over here. However, as soon as you entered the trade, the price reversed and dropped down dramatically. You could be any of the traders, either those who use a stop loss or those who do not use one. So if you used a stop loss, you will almost certainly be stopped out and forced to accept a loss, and that will be painful for you. And if you haven't used a stop loss, you would be out of luck and now waiting for the price to return to your entry point so you can exit with the least amount of loss or even at break even. So because you had a loss over here, the level will now be significant to you. And if the price comes back to this level, you will be cautious. And if you are still in a trade, you will exit the trade if you did not use a stop loss earlier. Now assume that there are several other traders who did the same thing as you, which is to buy over here. Now many other traders, including you, who did not use a stop loss will exit as soon as the price reaches this level. While those who did use a stop loss will now avoid the trade because they had to bear a loss at this point. This indicates that this level is important for the sellers and it will cause selling pressure, causing the price to fall from this point. As a result, the area where the price dropped is now a resistance. So as resistance is important to sellers, support is important to buyers. So when the price reaches a support, buyers jump in and the price moves up. And this is the entire concept and psychology behind support and resistance. And it is very critical to understand because it will be very useful in the next video when I tell you how to determine whether support and resistance will break or not. Now, what happens if the price breaks any of the areas? Yes, the support can turn into a resistance and the resistance can turn into a support. So let us return to the prior example to try to grasp this. Consider this. If the price breaks through any of these zones, the issue becomes, why did the price break through that level that looked so essential until now? Like, what happened to cause the price to burst through this level? So let us try to grasp this a little more. Consider the price having bounced from this support area. When the price is reversed from the support region, it moves towards the overhead resistance. Now the sellers who sold from this area previously understand the significance of this level. So as a result, a sell trade is placed from this or a nearby zone. But this time the price does not revert from the resistance zone but rather penetrates right through it. The only reason the price did not revert from this area is that the buyers were active at this time. Buyers believed that there was too much upside potential and continued to buy through the resistance level. As a result, there was no shift in momentum from buyers to sellers and the buyers continued to dominate the market. The traders that sold here were now dealing with a losing trade, and the traders who utilized stop loss are eventually stopped by the price, while others who did not use a stop loss are mourning and are in regret. The traders who placed a stop loss suffer a little loss while the others are in a drawdown, and both are now in fear of taking the trade. After breaking past the resistance zone, the price rallied upwards to a level where it reverted to the previous resistance level. So how would the traders who witnessed a market betrayal at this moment respond to this? Because they had a losing trade at this moment, the traders who had stopped out will not sell at this point or this level again. That is, the market's momentum is still with the buyers, signaling that the buyers hold the control of the market. And the traders who did not close their trades and were in a drawdown are now relieved that the price has finally dropped, and in order to preserve money, they will close the trade as soon as the price approaches the resistance, that is the new support zone, and these traders will most likely no longer be involved in this trade. So what has happened over here is that now more sellers have exited the trade and the buyers are now likely to control the market, and it creates an increase in buyer hold, and hence no momentum shift from buyers to sellers is observed. Buyers' demand in the market has increased as a result of these two conditions, and as a result the price rises even further, and the previous resistance now serves as a support. So as a result, the resistance now turned into a support.